Up to this point, we've been working with Python through the command line prompt of your operating system. We're going to switch gears here because the next several sections that we get into, we're going to dive deeper into Python coding and we're going to get into some nuances that are going to be better suited in a different environment. The command line prompt that we've been working inside of, it's been great and it's been kind of more introductory level to nail down some key fundamental programming concepts within Python, which is great. Easily accessible. And we can write code and get it to run immediately without a lot of work on our part. So it's been solid for that. But it's got some limitations. If I make an error in my code, I've got to go back in and rewrite the entire line again. I can't quickly go back in and edit snippets of code. If I want to be able to write logical statements with like if statements or create loops, it's just not the best environment to be working inside of. So I'm going to introduce you to the Python shell and the Python idle editor. This is going to allow us to create more robust code and be able to save code that we can use later on as well. So for right now, let's go ahead and get rid of the command prompt. Gone. Let's close it out. I'm just going to X out right here. Now, when you installed Python on your system, it not only gave us access to use our command prompt to be able to write Python code, but it also installed some other tools for us to use. And these are the Python shell and Python idle. So what I'm going to do here is go down to my start menu and I'm going to do a quick search. I'm just going to start typing right now. I'll start typing in Python. You may have your little search bar down there. You can click into the little search box and type in Python. So here I've got the idle Python 3.7 yada yada yada. That's the one I'm looking for. I'm going to go ahead and select idle. Now this opens up the shell window. Now the shell window for Python is very similar to working inside of the command prompt window. I can write code in here and it immediately executes. So if I do something like this, 2 plus 2, and I hit my enter key, there's my 4. We can declare variables just like you did inside the command window. So I'll make that equal to 10. I'll create another one called B. I'll make this one equal to 15. Then I can say A plus B, and there's the results. Immediately running your code and you're seeing the outcome. Now, like I mentioned earlier with the command prompt window, it's great, it's easily accessible, but it's perhaps not the best place to write out full programs, right? I make an error inside my code and now I've got to go back and rewrite the entire thing. I can't just go back and make edits to specific lines of code. Not letting me do it. So instead of that, and the shell window is great, there's another environment for us to work in. Now, before we get into that one, try this out. Close out of the command prompt window, get rid of that, get into your start menu, search for Python, and look for the idle option. Go ahead and open that up and try it out. Once you get in there, it's going to feel very similar to working inside of the command prompt window. You don't have to type in Python to be able to get access to your Python prompt. It just takes you right there inside of shell. So go ahead and get that window open, bang out a few lines of code just so you can get a feel for working in there, and then jump into the next window. We're going to take a look at creating the additional Python files that we would then be able to execute through shell.